Main man, made man here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing. My main man, Kell Brook, is back, ladies and gentlemen. We see him and Errol Spence Jr. going back and forth on social media. Errol Spence Jr. jumping in that water again, saying, yo, go ahead, win that title, and I come back up to 54 and break both your eyes, huh? That's what he talking, huh? And then I'm saying fight fans like, yo, Kell Brook would be a fool to do that. He better not do that. Man, let me tell y'all something. I would love to see a rematch between Errol Spence Jr. and Kell Brook. You know what I'm saying? Like, trust me, at 154, man, I'd be down for that fight. The only reason I would probably object to it is because I'm not ready for Errol Spence Jr. to leave the welterweight division with unfinished business. He still got opponents down there. I love to see him fight. And not to mention, I'm interested to see how he moves once the IBF makes their move towards better drug testing. But anyway, all I'm saying is, let's just be honest here. Let's just be real. Kell Brook was outboxing Errol Spence's ears off in the early portion of that fight. Once the injury occurred, the whole energy of Kell Brook changed. The trajectory of the fight changed. It didn't change before the injury. It changed after the injury. The only remaining question also for these two to fight is Kell Brook back to normal or somewhat normal? I understand an orbital bone injury, unlike some of the boxing fans. They have this notion in their heads that fighters don't recover from orbital bone injuries. Now, the eye may never be 100%, but you do recover. There's been numerous fighters, man, that has recovered from this injury. Paulie Malignaggi got injured, his orbital bone injured against Miguel Cotto. He goes on to become a world champion. Lucas Matiste injured his orbital bone against Victor Postal. He now sits as the #1 guy in the WBA, well, under Keith Thurman. So, orbital bone injuries have been very frequent in boxing and in MMA. It's all about how you recover. You can end up recovering well, say like Paulie Malignaggi did, and go on to do good things in the sport. Or you can just be like Antonio Margarito and seeing in two different directions at one time. You know what I'm saying? But the point I'm trying to make, the orbital bone injury is not the hear-all, say-all. Once Kell Brook gets in there with the big puncher and the eye does not close, it does not swell up, he doesn't see triple vision or anything like that. But then, ladies and gentlemen, on a skill point of view, I thought he'd done a phenomenal job with Errol Spence Jr. I even recall watching a vid in which someone actually did a punch count of like all of the punches that landed in the earlier portions, throughout the whole fight. But it was like Kell Brook was like leaps and bounds ahead of Errol Spence earlier on in that fight. Not to mention, Errol Spence Jr. was tested up to his eyeballs, and that was the most unimpressive that we have ever seen him look. Now, to Errol Spence's credit, and to be fair, he was inactive himself, and he also had to make a travel overseas for a time change. So we understand how sometimes that could put a little rust on you. But the fact of the matter, ladies and gentlemen, this fight was competitive. For anyone who's saying that they don't want to see a rematch, how could you not want to see a rematch? Now, I'm not like Eddie Hearn. I don't believe what Eddie Hearn is talking about. I don't even think he wants to put Brook in there right away with Errol Spence. I think he knows that there are unanswered questions when it comes to Kell Brook in his eye also. But I don't know, man. I think it's a good fight. It just was, the first fight was just too close to not say I wouldn't want to see it again. Both men healthy, not inactive, at a comfortable weight. How could you not want to see that? And then people out here talking about Kell Brook better not jump in there with Jermell Charlo. Man, what in the world y'all talking about? For one, Jermell Charlo ain't no boogeyman. Let's just keep it 1 milli. Jermell Charlo talks better than he actually puts the work in. How long has Jermell Charlo been at 154? He ain't mixed it up with Law. He ain't mixed it up with Hurd. He ain't mixed it up with Andre. Well, he was supposed to mix it up with Andre. I don't want to throw that on Jermell Charlo. But the fact is, he ain't mixed it up with Law or Hurd neither. But my main man, Kell Brook, is already calling him out. Everybody like Jermell Charlo's too strong. He's too strong. Why? Because he stops Erickson Lubin. Erickson Lubin is an up-and-coming fighter, ladies and gentlemen, not world class. The fight before that, Jermell Charlo was getting his ears boxed off. on his way to a loss. So y'all gonna say my main man Kell Brook can't get in there and do that? He took, if that wasn't for that big shot, Jermell Charlo would have lost that fight. So don't give me no crap about Jermell Charlo, some boogeyman. It's all about Kell Brook's eye at the end of the day, and that's the only reason they have an advantage, not from a skill point of view. Hell nah. Hell nah. Man was outboxing Spence. I'm not even a believer of the weight. I'm not like most people who say, oh, Kell Brook was drained. I don't believe that. I think that's crap. Because he's clearly saying he'll fight Amir Khan at welterweight if he have to. No, I think that's crap. And then after the fight, all Kell Brook complained about was his eye. He's seen double vision. The vision got worse and worse per fight. I mean, as the rounds progressed. I'm sorry. Man, y'all tripping. And then people are like, oh, if the rematch happened, it has to happen in Dallas. No, the hell, it don't have to happen in Dallas. Texas has the absolute worst drug testing in the country. Y'all are tripping. They don't even test for most steroids in Texas. Y'all better know what's going on. It's no way Eddie Hearn will allow Kell Brook to fight in Texas unless VADA and every gold standard of drug testing is involved with the fight, like it was last time around. But truth be told, if Eddie Hearn is smart, I think, honestly, he waits till the IBF makes their decision on year-round drug testing. And then he says, Kell Brook, go and challenge Errol Spence Jr. I think that would be a much more smarter approach. But yet and still, man, I see the rematch. I like to see the rematch any day of the week, man. I'm sorry, man. Y'all people out there, look, Kell Brook is a WBC silver champion at 154. I ain't about to be babying no Kell Brook when I know he's a good fighter. The only lingering question is the eye. People might say, yo, well, man, well, he the one that broke the eye. No, the hell he didn't. Gennady Golovkin broke that eye, my man. Gennady Golovkin, see, I know, I've already done the vids on this. When you study the eye sockets and you see how things are made, when you injure one side, you weaken the other side. That's just how they put into your skull. It's no way. It just don't make sense. Kell Brook gets injured one eye, one fight, then the very next fight, the other one gets injured, and y'all just want to say, oh, Errol Spence is just Superman, huh? He can just do it like that. Some of y'all can believe that, and I ain't gonna try to change y'all minds because I can't. I've tried to present the evidence, the facts, and it don't work. I'm fully aware how the Errol Spence fans are. So I ain't trying to change y'all mind. I'm just letting you know, man, look, don't think that my main man Kell Brook can't get up in there with him again, though. And if the eye holds up, man, I would love to see that fight. I don't be doing no protections, bruh. So, I noticed, though, but Eddie Hearn is the one that's doing the talking. I don't see Kell Brook much more engaging. He's saying little things here. He did say he don't feel as though Errol Spence hits as hard as people think. It's more workload with Errol Spence, in my opinion. It's not so much a power thing. It's more he overworks you. He outworks you. He has a crazy engine. He constantly punches, constantly comes forward. So he most of all outworks you, but he takes punches. And Kell Brook laid a lot of leather on him. If Kell Brook can go those distance in those extra rounds, his eye don't get injured. We got a whole nother fight here, ladies and gentlemen. So how would you not want to see it again? How could you call Kell Brook all these names when no one at welterweight is trying to fight Errol Spence? Kell Brook is even willing after 2 injuries to consider getting back in there with Errol Spence Jr. again? That's a warrior if I ever seen one. But y'all want to call them names. Man, I like to see it again, man. I like to see it again. Preferably Vegas. Maybe preferably New York or something like that. Not Texas. And I know that's Errol Spence. I know Errol Spence Jr. came to Kell Brook's backyard, but it's just for the reason of drug testing. Texas do not test for certain steroids. They don't test for anabolic steroids in most of their tests. They just don't. I'm sorry. Y'all can do your homework and see for yourself. They are known to have one of the worst commissions in boxing. They are known to have one of the worst drug tests in boxing when you conduct tests in Texas. So, I mean, y'all can call it whatever you want. Like I said, if VADA is introduced, maybe they can do their own thing. I would prefer to have these guys tested since the beginning of training camp. Then we can see about it. But don't think that my main man Kell Brook can't do it, man. Y'all are just, the Errol Spence Jr. fans are non-believers. They tune out the early portion of that fight. They tune out the injury and when the fight changed. They tune out when the course changed. They tune out the fact that Errol Spence Jr. did not stop Kell Brook. Kell Brook quit. Let's not act like Errol Spence Jr. knocked out Kell Brook here. Kell Brook took the knee for the sake of his eye because he was seeing 3 Errol Spences. So don't act like Kell Brook got outboxed. Don't act like Kell Brook didn't do what he do. I do think that Kell Brook will win I have a better, oh, I ain't gonna say will win. I take that back. Take that back. He will have a better chance of winning, possibly at 154, just like the Carson Jones fight. Remember when he fought Carson Jones in that first fight and he looked horrible? Then they readjusted and fought at a higher weight of 151 and he destroyed Carson Jones? I'm just saying, man, don't act like this shit, man. Y'all act like that. I don't know what fight people be watching when they watch that fight. I thought Kell Brook fought a beautiful fight in those first 5 to 6 rounds. Beautiful. He was handling Spence to the point where the commentators had said, yo, hold on for a minute. He's kind of giving Spence a boxing lesson. And then the injury occurred and the whole fight changed. And everyone wants to act like it was just Errol Spence doing so much. It was an injury, man. That the guy before Errol Spence pretty much did a number on Kell Brook. But nobody want to hear it. Nobody want to hear it. It's all Errol Spence is just great, all a fighter. He didn't get touched up at all. Let people tell it. Oh, he had the game plan. This was the game plan from the beginning. Let everybody tell it. Shit. All I know is if that injury wouldn't occurred, man, Kell Brook started to get drained, sure. Because he did start to take a lot more body shots in the fight. Because of the injury. He couldn't see the punches. This is when everything changed. I challenge y'all to please go back and watch that fight. Well, if you can find it. I don't think YouTube has it no more. It may be on Daily Motion or something. But just go back and watch the fight, man. And I'm telling y'all, man, you will see that the moment that fight changed is when the injury occurred. I've now watched the fight well over 5-6 times. And every time we get to the moment when the injury occurs is when you see the change of energy. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to act like Errol Spence Jr. wasn't landing nothing early on in the fight. No, but compared to what Brook was doing to him, the game plan that he was putting, he was actually manhandling Errol Spence. Spence did not look that strong in that fight, ladies and gentlemen. Especially when he had supposedly a full head of steam. Spence started to look strong in the fight when Kell Brook got hurt. If Kell Brook doesn't get hurt, we got a different fight. So y'all can say what y'all want. I'm down to see a rematch if Kell Brook can hold up. I don't want to see it happen next. Of course not. I want to see Kell Brook get in there with somebody who can actually punch. I don't believe that Rabchenko Khan fight for, that Rabchenko fraud fight for a second. Man ain't touch his eye the whole freaking fight. I don't know what Kell Brook's eye can do or not, if he can hold up to a punch or not. But once we find the answer to that, bring on Jermell Charlo, bring on Errol Spence Jr., bring on Jared Swift Hurd, bring on Errol Sandy Laura, whomever. I ain't even going to mention Amir Khan. I have no rap for the Amir Khan fight right now. Matter of fact, I think it's so stale, I don't even know how bad I really want to see it. I just want to see Amir Khan get knocked the fuck out. That's about it. But still, man, y'all tripping, man. I don't know what y'all looking at, man. I know who Kell Brook is, and he boxed a beautiful fight against Errol Spence early on prior to the injury. So we'll see, man. So to the next video, Main Man, Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe. Twitter, Made Man 511. Facebook, Main Man, Made Man. Boxing Forum, Google Plus, Main Man, Made Man. I like Errol Spence Jr. And Errol Spence Jr. definitely goes into a rematch with the Edge. But yet still, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know, man. I'd like to see it again. And as opposed to Kell Brook fighting a bunch of bums, I mean, shoot, I'd rather see him face Errol Spence Jr. again, man. I'm sorry. I thought it was a very entertaining fight. I thought it was a very good fight. And I think that even in the rematch, I do believe it was a toss-up. But then again, you got to remember, Errol Spence Jr. will be a different fighter at 154. He'll be bigger. He'll be stronger. Who knows? We'll see. So to the next video. Peace out.